Okay, so I started by just putting the SD card into the side of the Mac, and then when you put it in the SD card, it just pops up here. You double click on that, and you just go into, you might have to look around for your footage, but mine is in the clips. So we don't need any of these like pages, but these are all the clips that we're gonna be using. So what I usually do is I just drag everything into, even if it's like, let's see, yeah. Okay, so that's everything we need, and I'm gonna just create a new folder, like by just using 2 fingers and going like this, and then creating a new folder. So we're gonna rename that, and let's just name that Show Choir, so that we can take out the SD card, because now the files will all be in the computer and not just on the SD card. So now that we have all of the footage in our Show Choir folder, we can open up Premiere Pro, and just a new project. We'll title it Show Choir, and I just keep them all the same. So what we can do is we can just drag in all of our Show Choir clips that are now just on our computer. Just gonna drag them in. Okay, so I just dragged in all of the clips, and as you can see, like right now I have like 15 minutes of content, and we're gonna make this a 2-minute clip. So I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna take out any clips that I don't want or shorten them so it's just like the best part, and I can use like the L key to like play it, and if I go faster I can like watch them very fast, and then just space to pause again, and then you can also go backwards with the J, and so you can get really exact when cutting it. And then if you do have like a gap like this, you can just select it when it turns white and just press delete, and it locks them together nicely. Okay, so I'll go and I'll like, you can just move this, and that's what's playing, is wherever this is at. So I press play, which is just the space. Okay, so this is the clip, but it's gonna be a little too long, and I really only want that much. So I'm just gonna cut that down by just, I'm on the tool right now that just is selecting, and I'm just dragging it over, which is cropping it, and I also have the magnetizing thing on so that they click together nicely and there's no gaps. And then I can just go on to the next clip. If you want to cut a clip in half to add something in between, you can go to the razor thing and then just cut it, and it cuts the audio and that. And then if say you didn't want to do that, you do just control Z, and then it goes back. Okay, but I kind of just like dragging it because it's less work. Okay, so now I'm picking out like which quote I want to use of his. He was a volunteer for this. Okay, so I start by muting like one of the sections and just hearing
I'm here to volunteer
what the quote is that he wants. And so it starts with like and so I just listen for those key words, and then I already lined this up, but say it wasn't lined up. Then I go to the next one, so the audio that I got from a phone, which is like a little better audio.
I'm here to volunteer for Show Choir, and this is.
And so he also starts with I. So I know I can line up the part that I see, and you can use these like ridges to really line it up as you see it. So you can kind of see a pattern, like it goes, this is supposed to line up there, and this should be good. These should be lined up because they line up, the sound waves line up. So like there's a bump here, there's a bump here. Let's see if it worked. So we unmute both now.
I'm here to volunteer for show choir, and this is giving me a really good opportunity.
Okay, so yeah, it's all lined up. So that note, so we listen to it again, and now that they're all lined up, we can then just take out this audio because we want to use the phone audio. So I just I tapped with 2 fingers, and I got this. And so then I'm gonna unlink right there. And so now I can delete just the audio or just the video. And so I'm gonna delete just the audio. And then I like to just link up this just so that I don't accidentally move one or the other. And let's cut it because they're gonna move together now. And we'll cut it here. Okay, and then to export it, once you're all done, you just go to File, scroll down to Export, and then Media, and this will pop up. And you're gonna want, okay, so the format I usually use is the H.264, and it'll get really high quality, and then I just match the source. And right here, if you click on this, you can rename your project so that you can easily like find it. And then that's it. So you'll then click export down here, and it should take like, if it's like a 5-minute thing, it's like 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, so I want to just go over how everything works on Premiere Pro. And so Premiere Pro has like a really easy to customize background and everything, so you can move things around, you can switch things back. So after you change the settings over here, it can like then fade from black. You see, it's like we play it, it'll fade in. And so that's what happens when you fade in the video. Okay, so then we'll talk about how to like edit a video if you want to do some more editing. So you can go over here to the effect controls, and so here is where there's the position, scale, rotation, all these. And a lot of that these things you can do from over here. Like if you double click, you can change this and make it like fit the frame how you want it. But you can also do that from here by changing the scale. If you want it, like say you can't get it exactly back to just its normal scale, you can be very, very precise in the position. And if you want it to say change the scale like throughout, like you want it to start zoomed out and get more zoomed in, you can do keyframes similar to how we were doing keyframes with it fading in. Okay, so say we want to change the position, we're gonna click it to make it blue, and as you've seen, these are the keyframe things. So we're gonna set a keyframe there, and let's set another keyframe when we want it to be full. So in between these keyframes are when it's gonna be changing from one position to the next position. So it'll be at its first starting point, and then you'll set it to the next starting point. So if we want the position, say we want it to go all the way across the screen, I'll just show you how it would work. But if we like change this to 30, let's now look at how that affected it. And it would just look like this, slowly swiping up, and it's actually just the whole position of the video is changing. As you can see, it then just went up. And so you could just, that was just through the position, and that is the exact same thing. So you can just delete these when you don't want them. But you could do the exact same thing with scale, and that would be like a push in, rotation. A lot of these you won't use that often in just regular now editing, but they're definitely good things to know, just because, and then this is opacity that we were working with earlier, and that's like what we were doing with making it fade in and out. Okay, but yeah, those are a lot of the things you'll be using a lot. This is just, all of those will be if you're using color and stuff like that. Okay, so now let's go into, say you want to change how something is colored. You're gonna go up and say I selected this clip, and so I can change all of these. So if I want the temperature warmer, cooler, saturation up, down, and doing this will just help if you took, especially if you took a bunch of clips on different cameras. It'll help make them more even. You can do that just in post-production. Okay, let's see. Another thing that's good to know is like the effects that Premiere Pro offers. So I am clicking on these two, and I can go into effects. So these are all the effects, and there's lots of them. So there's audio, video effects. Something that is really nice if you have like a slightly shaky shot, you can use the warp stabilizer, and that's this one. And so you would just drag it onto a clip and it'll analyze it. And then if it asks you to then click the analyze button, it would be in the effect controls, and it would be this button. But it's already doing it right now, so we should be good. But you can definitely just look through all of these. There's some really cool effects, especially if you're doing a more creative project. But you can make things black and white. You can do fades, and all of these effects will be in here. And I think this is just something that you'll want to play around with, try out effects, see what they look like. You can always just delete the effect after. Okay, so now let's go into captions and graphics. So these are going to be used a lot if you're producing the now. Okay, so I added a text, a title, and so if I want this to be exactly in the middle, I can go over here and click that, and it'll align it to be exactly in the middle. And then I want to create credits, so I just do this by typing. Let's do loser, and then over here I want to say Sarah, and say I just keep going. I type a bunch of names here. We have a bunch of names, and over here I want to add a bunch of positions, and this is how we would create the credits. Okay, so now we can go over here and we can change the size. So I'm gonna make this like 75. Perfect. And we can drag that over here. And we can play around with it. So if I want it to be lined, I'm gonna have it be the straight edge, aligned with the straight edge of this. So I want it to be this setting over here. And then for this one, we're also gonna make it the same. So 75, and now they're the same. And we're just gonna align them like this. And we'll want it to be in the middle. Okay, and then it would be, let's make it show the same amount of positions. So it would be like this. And so now you have your credits. But say you want your credits to roll. What we're gonna do is select them and just click the roll. So now when we play it, we'll have some rolling credits, and that's how you make credits.